Oh, God, Leake. Oh, he missed it. Oh, he got it again. He got it that time. There we go. Man. Yes, sir. There we go. Look at that. 100 episodes of Chasin' the Sun TV. Can y'all believe that?
Let's go. Where are we going? I don't know.
I'm not having fun.
Real fish.
Fish, a fish. No more is it a wish.
Hey, that's how you started off right there.
It's awesome here, and I think I take that for granted sometimes. The show has made me not.
Justin, born Panama City Beach, raised Panama City Beach, has been fishing these waters since he was in a 14-foot John boat with a 4.5 motor on the back. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh.
You have got to be kidding me. Yeah, look at that!
Chasin' the Sun is brought to you by Holiday Inn Resort, Panama City Beach. Humminbird, simply, clearly better. Dulce Vida Tequila. Grundins, we are fishing. And by Pirates Cove Marina, you enjoy the Gulf, we'll take care of the rest.
100 episodes of Chasin' the Sun TV. I remember it was not that long ago, or it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. I was just a full-time fishing guide here in Panama City Beach that loved to be on the water and just obsessed over everything that had to do with outdoors. And of course, growing up, I dreamed of being on TV and doing a fishing show one day, and here was my shot. Now, did I realize Chasin' the Sun would go 100 episodes deep? Of course not. But here we are. Let's go have some fun.
One of the greatest things about Florida saltwater fishing is you can catch about anything at any time. Of course, we all know that certain fish are likely to be in certain areas at certain times of the year. But hey, they all live in the water, and who's to say that fish don't take their own kind of vacations?
So we're heading out without a specific kind of game plan. And although I feel like we're kind of just going in the blind and trying to find a bite, we are using years and years of trial and error and knowledge to really narrow that down.
One thing we've learned over these 100 shows is that this fishery is really diverse. It's constantly changing. It's really fun to see the guys adapt to whatever the conditions are or whatever species happens to be biting that day.
If you take the amount of work it takes to figure out a new fishery and you put that on one person, it's impossible.
Yeah.
It takes years.
Yes,
and we don't have that kind of time. We have to figure this out now. So we split that effort up, that work between a bunch of different people, and it helps us dial it in much quicker. And it is just mind-blowing how much we have figured out through these 100 episodes.
Yes.
And you know, that time frame from the first episode to today, me and you sitting here, I look at some of the original shows and it is hilarious because we look a lot younger.
Yes.
And we're not nearly as dialed in.
I think I have a little bit more hair.
You definitely have more hair.
Yeah, I have more hair.
But you were dialed, or we're dialed into so many more fisheries now than we were then.
Yes.
What people seem to forget is that Justin is a full-time guide first. He has 5 or 6 other guys at the dock who he communicates with every single day.
Nothing, we ain't got a bite yet. Y'all catching any?
Their job is to figure out this fishery that is constantly changing.
The whole way we fish really as a whole has changed. I mean, I remember I think it was the second episode that we filmed, we did a mahi thing. And at that time, I think we were all under the impression that, hey, you can only catch these fish like at the end of the season if you had real hard southeast winds. And then we started kind of venturing out more and looking for things, and our whole mahi fishing is really become a pretty consistent part of what we do now.
It used to be one of those things I just kind of did. Keep a rod ready. You may see something floating, maybe. Some years we have so many of them. Man, they're swimming around the boat while you're trying to bottom fish.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Should we be,
and when you're talking about the size, what you do for that is when the fish scale down, you scale the tackle down.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've got, speckled trout rods.
Yeah, yeah,
with
exactly.
little bitty jigs, and we're throwing.
But that's every season, it changes a little. So you may have a client call, hey man, last year we did this, is that gonna be? Hey, this year's totally different.
Yeah.
No two days are the same, no 2 years are the same for sure. And you can look out through the show, man, how it's progressed and how it's done all these different things we've came up to go do.
Which is why I love fishing in this area, is because of the versatility.
Yes.
And that constant changing from season to season and one fishery evolving. It just shows that we push the envelope every season. We're always gonna find new stuff, and no matter how much we figure out, it makes you realize how little you actually know.
It's a good thing there's 6 or 7 of us, because it takes, well, they say it takes a village to raise a family. It takes a village just for us to be able to get out on the water sometimes.
This is true. That's true. It's a good way to put it.
If y'all think that this is like a really heavily planned and scheduled format that we have for this show, it's not really. I'm sure you wouldn't think it, but I'm a scheduler and a planner, but not when it comes to fishing, because it's different every day.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys like Kyle, I mean, he's right there at the dock next to me, but I'm always in communication with all the other charter boats and fishing guides around here. And when somebody's got something cool happening or a new different bite or something like that, I mean, we just throw it together and go, all right, let's go.
I had to learn the best way to film with these guys too. Travis used to say, you can do the same thing a million different ways. Finding your way to do it with your tools most efficiently was the best way for you. And that really clicked with me.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally been times at the dock, our boats, me and his boats, literally sit side by side, and we'll come up with something, hey, I think this would be great for the show.
Yeah.
Let's do it tomorrow. Can you go tomorrow? Sure,
Yeah.
let's go. I mean, just that quick, just that fast, like, boom, we're out there and we're trying to make something happen.
Yeah, and I can remember, like I said, I think I did the second Chasin' the Sun show, Justin and I catching some mahi and stuff. So we're out there catching fish, and I'm thinking, I've never done this before, but I'm thinking, okay, we just need to wreck these fish, and catch a fish, about 5 minutes of holding the fish, or we're on the way to where we're going to fish, flying fish start going all over the place. Some camera guys tell him, Chris,
Yeah, this is important.
get close to that flying fish in the air. I'm like, how am I supposed to do that? He's more interested in filming the flying fish, and we're like, we really need to get out there where the fish are. Yeah, but look at all these flying fish.
This is trying to film actual fishermen catching fish and learning a fishery. So everything here was new to me. I just moved to the area, so seeing a dolphin, seeing flying fish, seeing a manatee, all these things are very interesting to people that don't see them on a regular basis. So for me, as a cameraman, wanting to film flying fish, that seems completely reasonable. Why wouldn't anybody want to see a flying fish? It's a very cool thing.
You have to slow down from fishing to being able to capture all these moments and show anybody.
Yeah.
And I got the same kind of example. I really don't remember how early on this was, but Justin had called me and said, hey man, we just dropped the kids off at school. It's like a real early spring day, I think, and he's like, man, let's run down the beach, just look for some redfish. We found a massive wad of fish. I was like, all right, man, game on. He goes, oh no, I'm gonna make a phone call. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, we gotta get, film all this. This is terrific. So we wait for like an hour, and I'm like, the tide's gonna shift, the wind, these fish are gonna get an email. Something's gonna happen, they're gonna leave. But yeah, that was like, we do what?
Did you, I think you picked Chris up on the beach or something?
We did, I think it was Crooked Island, maybe we were down there, and it was like, man, he had time to come down here, bring all his stuff, didn't forget anything, which was impressive.
He's got a lot of stuff.
A lot of gear, man.
A lot of stuff.
And to get all that, like, y'all slow down, let's do this right. The fish cooperated, but the added stress that I didn't realize, man. I just figured, like, GoPro life, just we'll record, y'all just fish. Oh no.
It's not just about catching.
Chris, do you want us to talk and release them from here? Okay.
You don't have to catch a whole bunch of fish. You have to catch the right fish in the right situation, and the fish has to cooperate too.
Yeah.
In order for you, which is pretty hard because I ask them to and they don't ever do it.
So that we can come out here and do stuff like this.
Doing this for
appreciate that, all our servicemen and women.
Absolutely.
These are our breeders. We're gonna let them do their job now.
When I had the opportunity to go fishing with Justin, it was my first time tarpon fishing ever. And I was excited about the run and gun style and just getting to get out there and fish with Justin. I was excited about, but I was also a little nervous and stressed about having the cameras and having the chase boat and, you know, was I gonna say the right thing or, you know, could people even understand me talking?
Sure.
But once we got out there and got started, we were in our element. It was just two buddies fishing.
Right.
And I think it was almost like I literally forgot that the cameras were around, that people were videoing just two guys having a good time.
The filming, you've got a number of additional moving parts from what you typically have on a normal trip. The summertime red fishing, that's a real narrow window. You've got to you really got to study the tides and the conditions and be at the right place at the right time. You may only have sometimes a 1 hour window. Our typical Florida weather, big massive thunderstorm rolls up, sky turns black, temperature drops 10 degrees, few lightning bolts, and we had to run. So here we are, right as this is about to get where we want it to be and make this happen, and Mother Nature changes the plans. We had to run, hide out from it, and honestly thought we may have missed our window. And you know, you just wondering if it's going to come together. And then, like you said, there's that moment where he catches a fish, I catch a fish, then the camaraderie picks up, the competition, and you kind of forget about everything you were trying to make happen, and it just starts happening.
Give her a minute, let the fish kind of find its bearings, get oriented, pull them up out of the deeper water. They take a minute. Don't let that fish float upside down, float off from your boat. Fish will generally kick and give you a little indication when it's ready. There it goes. Beautiful.
One of the coldest, windiest days.
That's right.
Let's go show people we can catch these redfish in shallow water in the freezing cold or not. And we literally did that. We watched the weather. Hey, dude, it looks like it's gonna be nasty tomorrow. Like, you wanna go? Let's do it.
Well, Kyle, we always talk about we can catch redfish 365 days a year. We're gonna put that to the test today.
We packed up right there. The one thing we had in our favor was the sun. The sun was up, so that helped, okay?
Yeah.
But remember that? I mean, we were literally...
Oh, yeah, I remember. This was Kyle's idea, by the way.
Yeah.
My idea is to wait until it's 75, 80 degrees on a slick, calm, bright, sunny day and go show everybody some shallow water redfish. But Kyle's got this great idea. Let's do it on a, I 30 degrees. No, I know. It was super cool.
We were in the parking lot finding stuff to wear. We were like digging through our trucks, like, dude, I think we're gonna need more clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I walked out of that thing and I was like this. I mean, layers of stuff. And I was like walking up the boat like this, and I'm like, are you sure about it? Let's go. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make something happen. Let's go. Even the camera boat couldn't even get. Remember, the camera boat couldn't get close to us because it was so shallow. They had to stay way away from us, whether or not. I mean, we got up there though, and we caught them though. And they were there. I mean, we sight fished them. I mean, windy, cold. I mean, we made it happen. And I mean, to me, that just once again, you know, shows, man, you got to go, man. If you got the opportunity, I get asked all the time. I'm sure you do too. When's the best time to fish? Whenever you can go.
That's it. Wow. I was just asked to name off my favorite episode.
He's 4 pounds right now, and now he's about 7.
He's on me.
Stone crabbing, is that what we're into?
Stone crabbing.
I can't pick my favorite episode. Pretty much every one of them I poured time, effort, love, and just passion into. Shared amazing experiences with a lot of wonderful people.
What do you call it?
Woo,
nuclear. Nuclear jet.
So, here's to round 3.
Third time's a charm, baby.
That's right, man. Bring us some luck.
Come on!
That, my friend, is fun.
Good job, dude. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. I'm a little plug rod.
So I don't think I can.
Where are we going? I don't know. That way.
Okay.
But if I had to pick a favorite show, it would be our tarpon shows every year.
Come on. You got him? Hang on, hang on. Woo!
Glory fish. You guys know what a glory fish is? That's a fish that you really want to catch, but he doesn't want anything to do with you.
You make me want to hide away and pour out all my tears. Confrontation doesn't seem to be the poison that I fear. You tell me that you love me while inducing me with pain. Not aware of definitions, babe, you want to play the game.
Every time I see a tarpon, I want to see how he rolls. What is he doing? What's he thinking? Trying to get inside his head.
How to know that they don't love you? It's as simple as a hook.
Ever in my life have gotten in the water with them because it's either been on a charter or too many sharks.
Yeah.
The attention-seeking lover is the one you wanna book, but you have to keep composure 'cause of secrets that you took.
Dude, you got to swim with tarpon in deep water, and they were actually like accommodating. It was kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That's
And
cool. That is so cool. So cool.
The tarpon deal has always been my thing from the beginning. And now I realize it wasn't the fish itself. It was my pursuit of a fish that we didn't really know a lot about. It's trying to discover the unknown. And tarpon at the time were that for me. I was pretty experienced tarpon fly fishing, believe it or not, when I started guiding. And I had only caught tarpon on fly tackle. But when I started guiding, I started to try to transition what I knew from that into spinning tackle. And that's right when Chasin The Sun came about.
Chasin The Sun has been brought to you by Minn Kota, Florida Water Sports. Get all you need for the water at fws.fish. Smith Optics, Panama City Inshore. These guys can fish. And by Panama City Beach, real fun beach.
One of my favorite things about Chasin The Sun is the opportunity to showcase Panama City Beach and all it has to offer, whether that's restaurants or attractions, the special events that we have throughout the year, the shopping that we have here. You know, we'll always have that white sandy beach, but there's so much to do in Panama City Beach. It's a great family-friendly destination.
During the pandemic, we lost a good friend in Travis Holman. And I had gone to his visitation, having been really close with both Travis and his brother Bear, and ran into the producers of Chasin The Sun, thanks to Travis's dad, who introduced us. Upon that introduction, he looked at Chris and J. Michael, the producers, and said, "This girl needs to replace Travis on the show." And I think both of the producers are like, "Well, who is she?"
From the first time Meredith came, got on board Justin's boat, not 20 minutes into that first trip, I knew this is going to be fun. They're polite and competitive, and they have a chemistry that appreciates each other's skill set. This subtle combat between the two.
See? Quit trying to make me mess with your reel.
One. I mean, it's not a small one. Holy cow, that was incredible.
We'd like to thank all of you that watched the show, and we hope to see you next year.
Since this whole show has started, like, Justin is like, I mean, he went from like one of us and stuff to like, would you say like a prima donna?
We were all so normal.
Yes.
I think he changes his hat every day, and he shows up to the dock, and it's like this, and if it gets off, he has to change it. If it gets a speck on it, he's got to change it.
He's got a new hat.
You know, so.
I got to meet Justin Leake that very first time, and I have to admit, I was nervous. I didn't know what kind of guy I was going to get. Was he going to be pompous? Was he going to be a know-it-all? Was he going to be fishy, more fishy than me? And the answer to all those was yes.
I didn't feel pressure before, like to perform, but now Justin comes down the dock with tarpon rods, and I'm like, I got squid in the cooler still. So
Sometimes I go to the bait bar my cigar minnows are inferior. They're not as big as his.
My minnows are scared.
Yeah.
They're disappointed. Like, Justin was the next boat. We could have got on that one.
Oh, man.
I mean, if you've caught tarpon every day for the last 35 days, you aren't wanting to change anything. I mean, he may not be changing his underwear. So, just a little insight there. I mean, maybe for TMI, but sorry.
Hey, I don't, like, especially if you go in a restaurant or something, I know Justin.
Y'all seen the show, right?
I know Justin. I'm right next to him.
I saw a tarpon on the way here.